Hi, would you like to know how to make a little zippered pouch on the sewing machine? We're going to sew this and it's going to go with this journal. So this is my giveaway journal and we're making this to go with it. It's a pencil pouch or stickers. You can put pens, pencils, all kinds of stuff in there. And it's really cute. So I hope you'll stay and watch the video. Thank you. Have a great day. So tomorrow, June 10th, I will be doing the drawing for this Piece of God journal. If you haven't already went and watched the video, liked and commented and subscribed, you still have time. I will be doing the drawing tomorrow, June 10th, and we will be sending it out as soon as I get information, but that is that journal that I'm giving away. So we made the journal in the Peace of God Bible study, which I'm still working on. I think everybody else is pretty much done. This has been my personal study Bible. And what I'm going to do is make a cover for it when I get done. So we're on chapter 14 of Romans. I've got 2 more chapters. And then I'm going to put this in a cover because this is just basically something to hold it and get it out. So that's just holding my journal in for me. And I'm wanting to say I'm going to do a one signature journal, but I don't know. It just feels so big already. And when I get done, I want to put some more stuff in it when I get to where I can know where I'm going. So we left off, we read chapter 14, 1 through 13. So now I'm looking at, let me see if I can figure out. There we go. Looking at 14 through 23. I know and am convinced on the authority of the Lord Jesus that no food in and of itself is wrong to eat. If someone believes it is wrong, then for that person it is wrong. And if another believer is distressed by what you eat, you are not acting in love if you eat it. Don't let your eating ruin someone for whom Christ died. So, an example today, I think, would be like an alcoholic or someone who is really struggling not to drink. My dad drank his whole life up until like 3 or 4 years before he died. But he always said that it was harder when people were drinking around you to stop. And I remember one year he did stop drinking for the whole year. I was like 8 or 9. And he was so proud of that on that last day, he had a drink, and that was it. He was back to drinking again. That could have been he was around his friends who were drinking. You're so tempted that you just fall, you're stumbling. Then you will not be criticized for doing something you believe is good, for the kingdom of God is not a matter of what we eat or drink, but of living a life of goodness and peace and joy in the Holy Spirit. If you serve Christ with this attitude, you will please God and others will approve of you too. So then, let us aim for harmony in the church and try to build each other up. Don't tear apart the work of God over what you eat. Remember, all foods are acceptable, but it is wrong to eat something if it makes another person stumble. It is better not to eat or drink wine or do anything else if it would cause another believer to stumble. You may believe there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but keep it between yourself and God. Blessed are those who don't feel guilty for doing something they have decided is right, But if you have doubts about whether or not you should eat something, you are sinning if you go ahead and do it. For you are not following your convictions. If you do anything you believe is not right, you are sinning. So, what Paul's saying is that if I think eating a pizza is right, but then this person over here, Sandy, says, no, that pizza's got meat on it, I don't want to eat it. If I still eat the pizza in front of them, that's sinning. And if they eat the pizza with me because of their belief that it's wrong and that it's a sin, then I'm making them stumble and fall and eat that pizza. So Stephen Ron says, don't put temptation and stumbling blocks in front of other people. Some things are unclean because of their nature, but this verb unclean is not what is seen on the outside, but what is inside a person's soul before God. So if you see something and say, oh, that rock is really dirty, it's got dirt all on it and everything else, well, it could be a diamond inside all that dirt. You don't know. But God knows what it is inside there. And He knows that inside is what is important, not what's on the outside. So your soul, your beliefs, your heart, and how you treat others. But what is a person's soul before God? That's the important thing, is what is your soul, not my neighbor's or not Sandy's, Rhonda's, Stetta's, or my mom's, or anybody else's. You are to be worrying about what you are convicted on right here. But if you have doubts about whether or not you should eat something, you are sinning if you go ahead and do it. So if you have a doubt that it's wrong, then you're wrong for doing it. For if you're not following your convictions, then you're wrong and you're sinning. If you do anything you believe is not right, you are sinning. So then Paul is saying nothing is unclean unless someone believes it is. Even if I think it is safe or clean, but my neighbor doesn't, then I should respect my neighbor's belief that it is unclean and not do or say the unclean thing in the presence of my neighbor. We should place the needs of others before ourselves. I have really enjoyed this particular chapter. I've enjoyed all of Romans, but I don't know. This one, they all are just, I can't really pick one out that's better or worse. Not worse, but one that's the best. Because here Paul's talking about accepting others as they are, not to tempt them into sinning against their belief, not against my belief, but against their belief. I hope that you enjoyed this little bit of Bible study. So what I'm doing today is making a pouch or a bag for the journal that I've made, like a pencil case or something. So what I'm doing is I cut off a piece that was approximately 10 inches. And I really didn't need to cut this much. It was just easier for me. What I'm doing is I've lined up my fabric right across this line right here. So this is where this comes in really handy for quilting. I'm lined it up over here on the 0. And I'm going to line my ruler up right here across this straight edge that I have. And I'm going to line it up with the 9 there. And I'm going to line it up with the 9 down here and take my rotary cutter. And you do need a quilting ruler to do this because you'll cut your fingers with that if you slip. And I am standing up. And I'm putting pressure down. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to find another line to put it on, a straight line. And this is not perfect. Definitely not. So I have 9.5. I guess we'll do 9 by 9. Let's see, is that right? Did I get my measurements right? Yeah. So actually I'm going to do 8 by 9. So I'm going to line it back up and I'm going to take an inch off. So I'm lining this line and this line up with the ruler and then across here. No, see, I missed it. I moved it. So I am standing up right now. That way I don't slip. Well, I can still slip, but I'm doing my best not to slip. So here is the other piece. And like I said, I just went ahead and cut a bigger piece off just so I could show you what I was doing. So the first one I'm going to do is cut this probably right here. So I'm not on exact grain or anything like that. I'm just trimming it up. So then I'm going to take this side and I'm going to flip it around. And I'm lining up this line here. And I want this right there. So again, I'm lining this up. I'm going to line this up with the 9. And I'm not going to cut as much off of this side because I don't need to. Essentially, I'm wasting fabric over there. Not really, but let's say that. Okay, so I need my line up here was the straight edge. I've got one over here, so I'm just turning it. And this side I wanted at 8 inches. So if you have a directional, you would do the 8 going up and down. And I don't have directional, but I want the 9 sides. So I'm going to line up my sides again on the lines here to get a square, get it square. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line this up and this one up and then right through here. So I know this is probably not the best video of explaining this, but I'll have to get better at that one. So what I've done is I cut 2 dark brown at 8 by 9. So this is the 9 side, this is the 8. 2 light browns, 8 by 9, same way. 8 inches and 9 inches. So then what I also need is a zipper. I have a big zipper that actually coordinates with that. This zipper is right at 15 inches long, but I don't need it that long. I'm actually going to take, take this, and I'm going to make little tabs. So what I want to do is to have it the width of my, which is 1 inch. This same thing, you're going to line your fabric up on one of the lines, and then line up 1 inch here along this edge. And then down here you could bring it down to where it meets right in here, and that'll make it straight. So I'm making little tabs, and what I'm going to do is make them 2 inches, so 2 by 1, 1 by 2. Same thing as, it's crooked, but I'm looking at this ruler. So let me show you if it works. See how you can see it. See right here, even though this other yellow line is going crooked, I'm fixing to cut it wrong. So always check twice before you cut. So I need 4, 2 1 by 2s outside fabric. So you could do, I could have used the inside for the inside and then the outside, but since I had these little scraps, I'm going to use them. So let's see. This is 1, 2. Then we're going to take our zipper. It needs to be at least as long as this. So from here, we don't want to count the stopper, and we don't want to count. So what I'm going to do is just take a pin. I'm going to pin this side like that. So I've got my zipper sandwiched in between with the right sides together. And I'm going to sew this right across there. So here's my stylus that I can use to keep my fingers from getting caught. What I'm going to do is start kind of slow, and you'll notice this one's a lot quieter. Now I'm going to just kind of hold this with my finger. Make sure this finger is out of the way. I'm just going to sew back. So this one I do need to raise the pressure foot to get it out. So I'm working on a Juki 2010. So I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch from that seam. I think I've said that about 5 times. And I'm using contrasting thread. It goes with the white. So I'm just going to top stitch that. And then I'm going to pull this out. You know, I have not really done sewing videos before, and I'm kind of cramped in here a little bit too, but we'll figure it out here in a minute. I'm missing an end. There it is. So then on the other side, I'm going to take one of these in my top. So what I want to do is to have little tabs right about here. So I want to put this other zipper. I think I have a marker. Let's see what this is. Right about here. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to pull my zipper down a little bit. And right here where my lines are, I'm going to hold this together. And you want to make sure your zipper is on this side of the zipper head is on that side. And then I'm just going to sew over that so it will stay together. And then you can cut this end off. And I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Is I'm going to take this and put it on. Sorry. Right there. You can pin it again just to hold it in place. I'm not pinning very straight. And I'm going to sew again this straight across with this edge kind of being at that end. This sewing machine has an automatic, not automatic, you can hit the button or the foot just right and it will cut the string. So again, what I'm going to do is just open this up, and that's okay that we're missing. Well, you know what I did? I need to be down here. I'm going to clip that off again. And I'm going to move this down a little further. And that's why I cut it a little bit longer. So if I had this problem. So I want to be on this side, right here, this side of this lines where I need my sewing to be. I'm going to go right about there. Yep, because I can see my thread right there. And I can trim this edge off. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to open this up. So now I have this. What I want to do is to match this part, this seam, with this seam. So what I do is I try and get those seams together, figure out where the middle is. So right here's the middle. can put a pin right there. I want. Okay. I didn't do a straight middle. So then what I'm going to do is take one of each of these, and I'm going to leave that there. Okay. So again, I want to make sure I'm on the 8-inch side, short side, which I'm not. No, I'm on the 9-inch. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm going to do this 2 different ways. So the first one, we're going to do one side, the top and the bottom, or inside out separately. And then the other one, we'll do it together. So what I want to do is, this is going to be the inside. So I want my zipper like this. The good fabric facing up towards the top of it. You can see my 2 needles right here. You can pin all this down. So I do try to get my edges matching. And it is important, but at the same time, it's not. It's not a perfectionist thing if you do go a little crooked, because I've always been that person that wants to be the perfectionist and get it just looking right. And I do have a lot of pins in here, so I don't need this many, but so the first way I'm going to show you is to sew the front and the back at separate times. So I'm going to put this down. I've got my zipper foot pretty much. Well, this isn't a zipper foot, but it will get close enough here that I will actually. So I'm out on this edge because I'm wanting to baste it right now. I'm going to put the other one on there too. So when I get somewhere around here, I'm just going to move my zipper down. Okay. So you see now I've got it basted on there. And what I'm going to do with this other one, make sure I have the same. Well, that's not even the same fabric. This is my fabric. And no wonder I'm getting lost. So this is the other side. I'm going to use pins. So I'm just pinning this side down too. So before junk journals, it was crocheting at 14. But then my next passion was quilting and sewing. So again, this time I'm going to go close here. My zipper is down here. So what I want to do is, you can feel this. And actually I'm going to line this edge up because I don't absolutely have to have it real close. And I'm just taking these out as I go. So right about here, I need to lift up my presser foot and move this zipper down. And sometimes it's easier said than done. But you definitely don't want to go over the zipper. So move it down. And then just keep going. So here I am going to go over there and iron real quick. Be right back. Okay. So then this is my other one. I think this goes this way. So this goes here. We can trim this off right there. So we no longer need that on both sides. Then you have a fresh, clean edge to match your fabric to. So I've got right sides facing on the outside with the zipper foot. What I'm going to do is just pin this in, and I want to take the other one and I want to do the same thing. I want it to be these two together with the fabric down on the bottom. So I'm matching this up to over here. And this is the quicker way to do it. You can do it the other way if you're new at sewing. So I'll line up both of these. And then I come back and kind of make sure that my zipper is in place, and I just pin them again. So I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm going to actually put that pin back in because my zipper is down here. So make sure your zipper is out of the way again. We'll get a little bit done and then we'll come back and put it. So you put it down right there just like we did the other side, and you just back stitch. Okay, and I filled the zipper right there, so I'm going to lift this up. And again, I'm going to try and get in here where I can see and not poke myself, and move my zipper again. So I'm moving it this way. Feels like it's getting stuck. There we go. So you can do this with your fingers too. You could pin one or two and then just, you can feel right here. And I have my zipper, my foot going right next to that zipper. So what I'm hoping to do when I get my sewing room rearranged, or where I can get in here a little better, is to do videos. So now what I want to do is I want this to go down. So I've ironed my seams down out so they're going away from the zipper on both sides. What I want to do is I'm wanting to sew this way together. So what I'm going to do is come in here and match these up right there. Can you see where they're matching? I'm just going to pin them all the way around. And I want these going, the outside going towards the left, towards the inside, not the inside out. So outside towards the inside. And there's a few different things you can do because we're going to turn this inside out. And before I get too far, I want to open that zipper up. Just so when we get ready to turn it inside out, it will turn. We'll have it to where it'll turn. So right now the zipper is not in the way. We're pretty much done with the zipper. Sewing those tabs on, what it did is it makes this much easier for the zipper. You don't have to run over the zipper while you're doing the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew from about right here. Let's say down here. So what I want to do is I'm going to start down here. And I'm just using the 1/4 inch. Well, this is an 1/8 inch. So 1/4 of an inch is right here. And then here is 5/8. I put a marker there. But let's see. Yeah, I'm going to move over to the 1/4 inch right here so I can. When you get to the corner, you just pivot, let your foot up, and I'm running right across this line. And I'm kind of just judging my 1/4 of an inch. So like right here, I think I need to go just another more thing. I'm pulling my pins as I go. When I get right here, I'm on that seam. I'm just holding it with my fingers. I don't have to worry about the metal part of the zipper. And just pivot in again. And I just keep doing that all the way around. And I'm following this 1/4 of an inch line right there. And then I slow down when I get to the zipper part, just to make sure I got everything pressed down the way I want it. And hold it down. So here we're going to stop. We started right about here. We're going to stop maybe up in here because we need to turn it inside out. Okay. So now, like we do on junk journaling covers, we're just going to clip, clip, clip. So see, you can see right here, there's a little bit left. This is giving some more room on the inside for the bulk of the fabric to turn. So then over here, I need to, let's see, you need to make sure you back stitch when you start. That I didn't there, so when I started to turn it, it was coming loose. So see, now we're just going to slowly turn it inside out. Take it a little bit at a time. Almost like a baby being birthed out, pushed out. So I could have done a lot more to this. A better one. This here. What is this? Bonsai Jack. So this came and some dirt that I had on my succulent plants, and it just worked out great for turning fabric. So I'm just going to keep pulling this out. I'm going to stick that yellow part in, kind of wiggle my fingers around. And where that hole is, what side is it? So right here, I can put this in, kind of go in there and poke that out. So before I turned it, I could have sewed across here and put some lines on it, but I didn't. I should have, and I didn't think about it. So when you get done evening it out, you can pull this out one more time. What I do is I tuck those in and I pin it down. This is where the hole was where we turned it inside out. And it'll be on the inside, so probably won't be seen. I'm just going to take and go over that. So I'm trying to sew close to this edge. That way it's not as noticeable, but it's going to be on the inside. So you can make a cute little bag, put pencils in. If we had made it big enough, you could put your journal in, but I wanted to do this one as a pencil case. So there is just a simple little pouch that's going to go with the journal. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Let me know if you're interested in more sewing videos. Be great if you left me a comment. Hit the like button. You can put a little emoji down there if you want to. You don't even have to really say nothing. Just let me know you've been here. And thank you so much. I hope that you learned something from this video, and I'm going to work on getting some more for you. Thank you.